Welcome to A Canadian Investing in the U.S., a podcast and YouTube channel focused on Canadians buying real estate with host Glenn Sutherland.
Hello, welcome to another episode of A Canadian Investing in the U.S. This week I have a guest of Maria. Maria, maybe tell us a little bit about yourself, maybe your investing journey and how you got here.
Oh my goodness. I started my investing journey in 2000 actually, Glenn, where I went into investing full time. And I'm in the Niagara area, the Niagara region area, and I always wanted to do long and short-term rentals. So I started in 2000 and I've been in the real estate investment industry for 18 years now. So I know this area intimately, and I've seen so many changes in the Niagara area. I really specialize in short-term rentals, but also long-term rent-to-owns, fix and flips. I give out mortgages. I have student rentals. I've done all kinds, and rent-to-owns was one of my favorite strategies in the past. And I'm not finding that's one of my favorite strategies now, but and then I have long holds, buy and hold.
Why did your strategy change?
Because I didn't find quality tenants, and they weren't going to purchase the property. So it just didn't work out for myself here in Niagara.
Pretty successful business if you have an assistant that's running with you.
Yes. Well, all the people who work with me are contractors, so I don't have any employees. Okay. I just have contractors that work with me. Yep. So yes, I do. I have Sarah and I have Chris in my office that work with me, and then I call in contractors as I need them, and I have a handyman that goes out almost every day to check on the properties. But they go check on things. If there's repairs that need to be done, they repair. If there's something a tenant needs or a guest needs, they take care of it for me.
How much should you really be budgeting for like Airbnb or HomeAway what's the chunk that they take when you're doing these rentals?
Oh, well, HomeAway, I'm not on HomeAway any longer. Okay. So I think it's about maybe 15% total.
Yep.
Could be. Airbnb is less than that. I think it's around 3 to 6% of the total that they take. And then if you go with Booking.com or Expedia, it's 15% that they take off the top of it.
Okay. I've even shied away from having properties like duplexes that have like where I'm paying the hydro, gas, water, all those sort of things. And I know that people who are on vacation are going to use more than I would even my personal house because they're going to be going to ideally a beach or some sort of thing and be showering more often and everything else. Do you like just double the price or how do you sort of come up with your numbers to when you're?
Well, I know how much I need to make in order to carry my mortgages year round, and so I prefer the smaller properties and the larger properties. The reason for being that there's going to be less cost with smaller properties. You can still charge a good amount of money in your high season, but 4 people can't use as much water or electricity as 8 or 10 people would. And there's not as much work cleaning. There's not as much damage. I have never had in 18 years any damages done to any of my properties, long or short term, which is saying a lot when you think about it. Yep. Saying a lot. Yeah. So it really is, as you know, Glenn, scrutinizing who's coming through the door. And I get in touch with everyone myself or Chris or Sarah do, and we speak to them. And if we do, we can even meet with them at the house when they're checking in. So we do a lot. Our strategy is to touch base with the people as often as we can before they come to our properties.
And what kind of screening can you do?
Yeah, credit card on file. And then you can check on any reviews that people have done on them. Yep. And then just ask them questions in general. I mean, you get a lot just saying, why are you coming? Is there a reason why you're coming down here? So is it going to be 2 people or 4 people or whatever, right? Do you have any pets coming? Tell them you don't have any smoking in the house, legal or illegal. They have to smoke outside of the house. So it's all the questions that you ask them. First of all, it's on your website, those questions or what you expect from the guest, but you speak to them personally and reiterate what it is that you anticipate them doing.
How do you find a reliable cleaning person? Like, I know you're all set up. Yeah, I know you're all set up, but
you know what, Glenn? That's a really good question. That is the biggest problem that we have with our rentals is finding good, reliable cleaning staff. Yeah. And I'm fortunate enough that I've had the same staff for 4 years. I'm very fortunate. because I know a lot of bed and breakfast and cottage rentals have had to close up because they couldn't find cleaning staff and they couldn't be doing everything themselves. So I know of a number of them in the Niagara area that owned a one bed and breakfast and 2 or 3 cottages, but because they couldn't find reliable staff, they had to sell off their inventory. Think about that. Isn't that awful?
I guess a lot of it too is that you're asking them to come in on a Saturday and clean, right? It's like
of course. But you don't ask them to come all day long.
Yes.
It may be 3 or 4 hours or 2 hours or whatever else. But in my case, if my staff can't make it there, then I go myself and do it. Like, I've done everything in that house. My properties, I've done everything from nuts to bolts. I know how to do it. So in a pinch, I just go in and do it myself.
Gotcha.
If I can't find someone, or they've gotten ill, or they're not feeling well, I just go and do it.
That's
convenient.
So
you have to, as an owner, be able to jump in at any time, and you have to take over those tasks.
Yeah. What would you do if the property was really far away?
Well, I don't see. My strategy is everything within half an hour of my home. Yep. That's my strategy, and I only invest in the Niagara region for that reason. I couldn't invest in the States and jump on a plane or no. That's why, I think every person who is becomes an investor has to have a strategy in place. Yep. And know the risks. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes.
You have to know the risks. You have to. For any type of investing strategy, you have to know the pros and cons of it going in. Don't buy and then find out beforehand, then you can make your decisions properly.
Agreed. We'll backtrack a little bit back to like the Airbnb stuff. When you're taking all the photos and stuff for your thing, do you hire a professional for that? Is there any tips for staging?
Well, Airbnb told us at one point they'd come out and take the photos, which they never did. And it was years I was asking them to do it. So I just did it myself. Mm-hmm. And then I may find a student at a university or college that wants to make some extra money that's really very good at taking photos. But, I did very good photos myself. So, so if they want better photos, they can send in their own people to do it. But otherwise, it's pretty good. You get better. It's 18 years I've been doing this, right?
Yeah, oh yeah.
So it's got a little bit better.
I'm sure you figured some tricks out.
Yes.
Yep.
So things have changed a lot from 18 years ago when I started. A lot. Even the guests themselves have changed. The quality and the type of guests that we get has changed completely in the 18 years I've been in business now. When I started, it was mostly baby boomers who were traveling. Gotcha. And they love doing the research online. So they would look at your website, they would go on Google, they would do their research there. Where the millennials and a lot of the new people coming in, and they're not baby boomers necessarily, they go on Airbnb or Booking.com or Expedia. They don't even know how to look on Google to find us. And I'm on the first page of Google. And you'd think they would find me there. A minority find me there. They don't go and look there anymore. They just want this. They just want to have something done really fast, so they go on Booking.com or Airbnb or Expedia. But just for me to reiterate, Airbnb is just a listing site. I know everyone's talking about it. It's just a listing site, just like Booking.com or Expedia or HomeAway or, their concept was different because they said, you could go to someone's home and stay in a bedroom and share a bathroom, because normally people who come to bed and breakfast or cottages want their own space. Yep. And they want their own washrooms. But in the beginning, and you still find this in Europe, when you go to a bed and breakfast, or if you go to a pension in Italy, you share the bathroom with other people. You don't get your own bathroom.
No.
So the idea of getting your own bathroom, or even getting a little bit of a sitting area, is a new North American concept where we've really become very progressive. It's become more like a business, trying to become more like a hotel rather than a vacation rental. I do the old-fashioned way.
Yeah.
They call me up when they get there. I either meet them there, or we do the check-in over the phone, and then I tell them where the key is.
Gotcha.
And then let's say if it's a longer-term guest, then I'll change the lock. And then I just have my handyman go in and change the lock. I don't get involved with anything else. I keep it really simple.
Like, would you suggest to go with a large cleaning company? Maybe that would.
I've tried that.
Yeah.
You're going to laugh at this. When I was into my short-term rentals and even my long-term rentals. I would have cleaning staff coming in and cleaning. So at one point I went and got a larger company. I don't remember the name of the company now.
Okay.
And they had 4 girls come out. Now they were cleaning a cottage that was 1,000 square feet, 4 people.
Yeah.
So I was charged for 4 people. Would you believe it that when they left and I walked into the cottage, I looked at the floor, they had left bread right in the middle of the hallway. There were 4 people there. They left bread in the middle of the hallway, hadn't even cleaned it. So I realized that's not the way to go. Just need one good person that knows what they're doing. They know your property intimately, and they're willing to work. And and then I always go and check on it myself.
What do you usually charge for the cleaning staff? Is it like a percentage of how would you figure it out, what to pay them?
Some people pay $20, $25, $30, $35. I have a special deal with my cleaning staff.
Okay. Yeah, so
they've been working with me for 4 years, right? So
yeah, definitely.
I think one of the biggest mistakes people do is that they don't ask for 2-night bookings on weekends. And I remember the first year, 18 years ago, when I started my cottage rental and bed and breakfast at the same time, I didn't realize that I should have been asking for 2-night bookings. So what happened was I would have people come on the Friday night, then they would leave. I would have to go in again on the Saturday night and clean again. And this could go on day after day after day. And at the end of 4 months of doing that, I was doing most of the cleaning myself. I had carpal tunnel syndrome because that's how much work I had done. So now I don't. It's 2-night minimum bookings on weekends. And during the week, if it's the summertime, 2-night bookings. If I have some availability, I open it up to 1-night bookings. So I think that would be one of the things that could be a real killer for someone who's beginning. I mean, if anyone's interested to know more, they're welcome to go to my website, realwealthvacationrentals.com. So it's REALWEALTH, vacation rentals, all one word, .com. So realwealthvacationrentals.com. People can call me up if they want to at 289-273-5681. Or you can send an email to realwealth, REALWEALTH @live.ca. So if anyone has any questions at all, they can look on my website. They can send me a request from there. You can read all my articles and blogs there that I've been writing for years, Glenn. I've been writing blogs about short-term rentals and long-term rentals since 2012. So that's been 6 years already. So I'm not only on the blogs, I write on Google+, LinkedIn, Twitter, reiclub.com, some magazines also that cater particularly to vacation rental, and then my own blogs that are ongoing on my website.
And I know you do many Facebook groups. Do you have one related to the short-term rentals as well?
Yes, I do. It's called Canadian Hosts Association. So that's on Facebook. Okay. And then if anyone just has questions in general, I have my Facebook group that's called Canadian Real Estate Investors Association. So that's a Facebook page. And I know you're on there, Glenn, and I'm always happy to see. I love to post your podcasts, and I'm happy that I'm on one of your podcasts. Yeah. But, anyone can find information about long-term and short-term rentals over there.
Perfect. Thank you for all your time, Maria.
Well, thank you. Thank you for interviewing me, Glenn. It's always a pleasure talking to you.
I'll try and make it down for one of your meetings.
Absolutely. And if I could mention that, we have a meeting once a month in St. Catharines. It's on the last Thursday of the month, and it goes from 5 to 9 o'clock at night. So we have a dinner, and everyone pays for themselves and gets their own drinks. There is no entrance fee. It's all completely free. And we always have a speaker from 6:30 to 7:30, and then we network after that until about 9 o'clock. It's at George's Creek Village on Queenston Road in St. Catharines.
Thank you for listening. I'll be releasing a new episode every Wednesday, so if you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe, like, and comment. Or if you're watching on iTunes or Stitcher, please subscribe and review. This helps others find the podcast. If you'd like to have some questions answered, I'd love to get on the phone or Skype with you. I only ask that you listen to episode 1 before we do the interview, just to have the basics. Thanks, everybody. I'll see you again Wednesday. One last thing, the month of May, I will be interviewing all the people that I work with in the States, the CPAs, the turnkey operators, the mortgage providers. If you have questions, just send me an email, Glenn, Glen, @glensutherland.com, and Sutherland is Sutherland, and I can ask them the questions. Thanks, everybody.